Okay, I'm making this video extremely late, but I'm going to be going over UFC 321 in this video, just the main card. It was a pretty okay main card. It started out with a bang and then kind of dwindled out and then had a terrible ending. So, we're going to start with Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. I went with Azamat Murzakanov, even though he's a shorter guy. And on weigh-in day, I was very nervous about my pick because Azamat Murzakanov looked like a midget compared to Alexander Rakic in the face-off. But he got it done extremely early in the first round by a jab KO after going a little bit tit for tat, and there was a couple of grappling exchanges where Alexander Rakic was the one pushing the grappling. He went for a takedown, Azamat stuffed it, went for a single leg, Azamat stuffed it. And then Azamat closes the distance. Alexander Rakic is not playing the game plan that he needs to. He's not range striking on the outside, which is how he usually fights and how he went to a split decision against Magomed and how he's fought every single time he's ever fought and won. Instead, he kind of puts a weird grappling pressure on Azamat and gets chinned out cold by a jab in the first round. Extremely weird way for this fight to end. I really thought it was going to be a pressure, like the fight was going to go on in the second or third round. Azamat was going to put a pressure and start to break Rakic and then TKO him. I did not expect a jab KO from Azamat because Azamat's had some shitty performances in the past, and he's he's a knockout guy. Don't get me wrong, but Rakic is a good chin, and I thought Azamat was going to have to bully him up for a little bit and make him wilt, but he did not at all. He flash KO'd him in the first round. Actually, I want to talk about the prelim headliner as well. Nasrat Haqparast versus Quillan Salkilд. I did not predict this fight, but Quillan Salkild is a fucking monster. KO of the year contender. Quillan Salkild gets Nasrat Haqparast out of there very quick in the first round once again by head kick KO. Nasrat's dead asleep on the canvas. I thought it was scary. It was a scary knockout. He was dead on the ground for like a long time. It was one of the best head kick KOs I've ever seen. It was super slick. It looked like he fainted with his hips that it was going to be a body kick, and then came over the top and just murdered Nasrat Haqparast after just exchanging on the feet for a little bit. Not really anything else happened, but Quillan fucking slept Nasrat. Nasrat's hard guy to finish. Very impressive. I can't wait to see what Quillan Salkild does next. And these Australian motherfuckers are so good. Australia is kind of the shit right now. I was going to pick JDM anyway, but I'm definitely going to pick JDM now. There's something I think Craig Jones, even though he doesn't do head kick stuff, there's just something in the water in Australia. They're prime white people, to be honest right now. And they're fun. Every single one of them is a fun fighter that gets finishes. They're gritty. They always want to scrap, and they win. And I'm very excited to see what Quillan does next, and what JDM does next, and what Volk does next, and what all the Aussie fighters have to do next, because they're all so fun. I just wanted to highlight that because that was a sick knockout. Volkov versus Jelton Almeida. Speaking of sick knockout, this was the opposite, the complete opposite of that. So, but I will say 100% correct decision. 100% correct. Alexander Volkov versus Almeida was a snooze fest. Holy shit, Jelton Almeida is the most boring fighter in the UFC, and it's not even close. It's not even close. He makes fighters like Merab and Hamzat and even Umar who aren't boring. They just grapple a lot, and they really rely on it, especially when they start to get under pressure. Jelton Almeida makes them look like prime Connor, makes them look like Ilia Topuria on drugs. Like, Jelton Almeida is the most boring motherfucker on the planet, and he really proved that in this fight against Alexander Volkov. The first round, Jelton Almeida instantly takes him down. Sucks. I'm pissed. Terrible start. But Volkov is able to reverse him, get on top, and he lands ground and pound. And that was the key for Volkov in this fight. He was always the one exchanging blows. Not exchanging. He was giving anything in terms of damage to the judges to look at. And Jelton Almeida literally wasn't doing anything. So Volkov ends the round on top, the first round. landing ground and pound, not super heavy whatsoever, but just 10 times more than what Jalen Almeida was doing. The second round, Jalen Almeida clearly wins. He catches Volkov with a right hand and then takes him down and controls him for the whole round. And I'm like, oh, and you can tell it's going the wrong way. Jilton Almeida literally doesn't do anything in terms of damage whatsoever in the fight. He doesn't go for ground and pound at all. He's on top in full guard the entire round. There's some scrambling situations, but he just doesn't throw anything, and it was terrible. But I gave him the round because there was a lot of control, and Alexander really didn't do anything. In the third round, there were some clinch situations where Volkov was landing good strikes, good knees to the body, and then Jelton gets him down again. But while Volkov's on his back for the majority of the round, he is hitting Jelton Almeida, and he's doing more damage than Jelton Almeida from his back with just pitter-patter shots. He's not hitting him hard, but Jelton Almeida isn't doing anything. And the ref stands him up a couple times, and Jelton just shoots right back in again, gets the exact same spot, and sits there. I mean, he has good grappling control, and that is kind of impressive because Volkov's he's a hard guy to keep down, and he's a hard guy to get implement a grappling game against, especially at heavyweight. But come on, you got to have some spirit, some warrior in you at all, because Jilton Almeida is not built for fighting. He's just an athletic dude. That's it. He just wants to lay on fat people and just sit there and hope to God he doesn't have to do anything else. And they should cut him, really, because it was an iffy decision if you're going off of control as your way to judge fights, which that should never be the case. But in Abu Dhabi, thank God Volkov's Russian. If this was an Abu Dhabi adjacent fighter like a Dagestani or a Chechen or any of that region, they would have got the win 100%. I guarantee it. Joel Almeida's not gonna though. And Dana White has come out and said he agrees with the decision. Everybody agrees with the decision. It's awesome. It's a good world to live in. That damage and actually people that want to fight are getting rewarded. And also Volkov got robbed in his last fight, so it's kind of justice that he gets this close decision this time around. Because he definitely didn't rob Jolton Almeida. Jolton Almeida is the most boring motherfucker on earth. And I hope he gets cut, but he's probably not going to. Because he has decent wins in heavyweight. Like, he's a contender. There's a reason he's getting Volkov and would have got the title shot next if he would have won. And if the main event didn't end how it did. But yeah. Fuck Almeida, bro. Next, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. So, a lot of grappling, of course. It's an Umar Nurmagomedov fight. Mario Batista showed that he is willing and able to be in these exchanges and be in a gritty cardio battle with these fighters like Umar Merab. He showed that he is kind of on that level because he lost the decision. Clearly, I thought Umar definitely won, but it was an extremely gritty, hard fight for Umar in which Umar got dropped by a knee. And if Mario was a little bit better on the feet, he might have finished him. But overall, I gave Umar the first and third round. The first round, Umar Nurmagomedov is grappling well. He's getting takedowns, but Mario Batista is popping right back up quickly. He's scrambling very efficiently and effectively. But Umar has a good pressure. On the feet, Mario Batista's trying to put a pressure on it, but it's not really working, and Umar's landing good shots, and Mario will land a couple, and it just came down to the grappling exchanges where I gave Umar the first. The second round, I know Umar had a good end of the round, but I gave Mario Batista that round. Mario dropped Umar and had him freaking out and shooting and not just shooting like they always shoot just because they love to shoot takedowns, but I'm shooting because I'm in danger. I need to shoot to survive. He had Umar in that position. And that kind of happens now. Umar kind of gets in weird positions like that. I mean, I guess he does. He kind of does. In the Merab fight, he got wobbly and he was like, "Oh fucking shot." That random dude that took the fight. Fuck, what was his name? A random dude from the same region, same-ish region, cracked him bad and dropped him. Oh, fuck. I forgot his name. It's whatever. That dude took that fight on short notice and dropped Umar. Umar gets cracked and he gets dropped. He has a great chin to get back up and instantly keep going, and he doesn't seem to wilt very much after that. But he gets dropped sometimes, which is interesting. The third round, a lot of Umar running for the takedown, grabbing Mario. Mario will get up, separate, and Umar will just fucking head straight down, straight laser into the hips, and go for another takedown over and over. Exchanges on the feet. Mario's trying to do stuff, but he can't really. And he's not that good in his boxing. He's not that good, to be honest. Umar's a flashier and I would say a better striker overall. So I gave Umar the third, but it really came down to the grappling in the third as well. Mario wasn't offensively grappling at all because he couldn't. He had a couple, but not really. Umar was the one pushing that pressure. And he landed ground and pound when he needed to, and he got the bag for a second when he needed to. And it was a lot of that. It was a lot of scrambling and grappling exchanges that Umar kind of got the edge on, and I understand 100% why they gave him the decision. He earned that win. But what he didn't earn was a title shot at all. He does not earn a title shot from this. He does not get to fight Merab. He was wilting in the third round due to cardio. He wasn't like wilting heavily, but you could tell he was feeling the cardio. He was feeling it like a normal human being. And what you can't be is a normal human being if you want to beat Merab at all. We just didn't see that Umar Nurmagomedov has changed his game or like developed a new cardio or a different dominance or anything really. We didn't see any change, and I would predict 100% that Merab would do the exact same fucking thing he did in the first fight. So there's really no reason to do Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab Dvalishvili so early. We give Umar one more fight, we give him one more big win, and then maybe we can do it after Merab gets past Peter. And then that'll generate more hype for the rematch. Because also, if we just give Umar the fight right after, like if we just feed him to Merab again, if Merab does the exact same thing and destroys him, we don't have anything at bantamweight at all, and it's just dead because Merab's so fucking dominant. So we got to give Umar, we got to lift him up a bit, give him an approachable matchup up the rankings. Why am I saying this? I don't even want him to win. I would pick against him as a fan, pretty much anybody in the top five. But I would pick him to win against like a Davies and Figueiredo. I'd pick him to win. I think Peter Yan might beat him. I think Song Yadong might beat him. That's a hot take of mine, I think. But I think Song Yadong might have the takedown defense to beat him. He doesn't have the power though. I don't know. Song just has such good takedown defense. I really want to see that fight. But they might give Song Yadong to Sean O'Malley, so that I'll make a matchups video after this. But Umar doesn't deserve a title shot. He got a good win over Mario Batista. Mario showed that he's kind of in this shit and that he's going to be a top contender. But yeah, it was an okay fight. It was whatever. Next, Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. So this is also an okay fight. I don't even know how to. Mackenzie Dern won. She won clearly. For me, Mackenzie Dern's striking looked a lot better. Like a lot better than I remember. Like I've always known Mackenzie Dern is for two things. One of them I'm not going to mention. But the other one is that her striking is the worst thing on the planet. It's the worst striking I've ever seen, ever. But in this fight, she had some speed behind her punches. She was getting things going, and she had a really nice pressure. And Verna Jandiroba had a weird game plan where she would get takedowns and then do nothing with them and kind of get up and not really. She wasn't using her takedowns wisely. And Mackenzie Dern was able to get her own takedowns and strike efficiently, do more damage when she needed to, and put a better pressure on Verna Jandiroba. Also, if this was going to go to a decision, it was going to go Mackenzie Dern's way 100% because she has the right assets and Verna Jandiroba doesn't. She has the opposite of that. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm not going to go round for round for this fight. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But I do know that Mackenzie Dern won, obviously. And I know that Mackenzie Dern had better striking than I thought. And Verna Jandiroba had a weird, dumb game plan. And Mackenzie Dern was able to capitalize on that. And obviously, Dern is good at grappling. Verna Jandiroba won a couple rounds. or she could have won a couple rounds. Every round was close, but Mackenzie Dern edged it out. Typical women's MMA fight, 100%. But the A side won this one. Good for Mackenzie Dern. I don't know what she's gonna do next, but maybe we send Zhang Wei Li. Maybe she defends both titles when she wins against Valentina Shevchenko. You never know. So yeah, Mackenzie Dern beats Verna Jandiroba. Verna Jandiroba literally has nothing left. Like if she's not the top fighter on earth, then what is she? You know what I'm saying? That's all of her aura gone. And it was a very little amount that she would have had even if she won. So yeah, next. Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn. So yeah, I made a video about this, a separate video that you should go watch. But this is the worst thing ever. Tom Aspinall gets eye poked by Cyril Gahn. The fight ends in the first round after a close, very close first round where Tom Aspinall was down 3 strikes. But I think Tom Aspinall was arguably landing the better strikes. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get the narrative that Cyril Gahn was dominating. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Tom Aspinall was landing the bigger strikes. He wasn't landing as good of a jab. Cyril Gahn had a really good jab in the fight. They were exchanging low kicks. Tom had the bigger shots. He landed a head kick. He landed a smooth right hand that spun Cyril's jaw a little bit. Didn't do anything worth of damage or rocking him at all. Just a visual thing. But see, I thought it was significant. It was definitely a significant strike. The hate for Tom Aspinall for quitting this fight is so unwarranted. It's insane. I don't know how you can get a more humble. He gets a finish in every single fight he's ever been in. He's the most humble guy on the planet. Even though he went through the fucking ringer. He went through hell with John Jones for the buildup of their potential fight, which never happened. Everybody just decides to hate Tom Aspinall for no reason. He's like the perfect guy. He doesn't do anything wrong. It's so bad. And then he gets eye poked. He gets clawed in the eyeballs. And he digs his fucking fingers into his eye sockets and he could move them around if he wanted to. It looked like he wanted to pick them up by his eyeballs. And they're blaming Tom. It's just bullshit. And Cyril Gahn has always been a cheater. He's always cheated. He's cheated in every single one of his fights. The only thing, it was a miracle that we didn't see a back of the head shot in this fight from Cyril Gahn. We definitely would have, unless Tom Aspinall chinned him in the next minute. It's a terrible narrative. It's a terrible outcome. We don't get super fights anymore. We don't get Pereira Tom. We don't even get a unanimous anything. We don't get a verdict, and it sucks. It super sucks. But we'll get the rematch, and that'll be cool. And honestly, the rematch is going to be more hype because now there's bad blood. And if Cyril Gahn says anything, I bet you Tom's going to be pissed. And Tom is in general way more angry, the angriest I've ever seen him ever. And he was very like emotional about how this fight went. Rightfully so. He's pissed off at everybody, and he's pissed off at the crowd for yelling at him. He's probably going to be pissed off at Dana White's dumbass for saying what he did, and at everybody for blaming him. But overall, it's going to be a more intriguing matchup. But this one sucked. It's just a terrible ending. Anticlimactic. But yeah, those are my thoughts about the card. Let me know what you think. I will see you soon.